Hello and welcome to the character creation for Dragon Age the Veilguard. In this video we are going to be creating our character for the series which we'll be starting in about half an hour's time on the channel. However, there is one other reason for this video to exist, and that is at the end of this character creation it gets you to create your Inquisitor from the previous game. Now, our Inquisitor just so happened to be the most talked about race before this game came out, which is the Qunari. And the Qunari look significantly different. They look a little bit more human, I would say, than the previous games, and, well, Origins aside, where it was literally just a large man, but they look a little bit more human, and I'm interested to see how close we can get one of these characters to look like the Qunari from the previous game. Is it that the character creator just randomly creates characters that don't look very good, or is it fundamentally a problem with how this game's handled that race? I don't know. We're gonna need to find out at the end. Now, I have also cycled the appearance of all of these characters on the main screen because originally they all looked like identical clones of each other when I loaded it up. They all looked like they were the exact same body, except somebody had just scrolled the height slider up and down on them. Like, dwarf was just small, elf was slightly smaller, human was about the same size as elf, and then Qunari was tall. But now, they all look different, and I can see that there is a lot more we can do with the character creator. So I'm wondering whether a lot of the issues that this game had pre-release with some of the review builds is simply that some people who reviewed it got some boring default characters. Who knows? Anyway, let's find out. Now, when I'm creating a character for a series, what I want to do fundamentally is pick a character who I think will be interesting in the game. As in, I want to pick somebody whose race, whose background, who everything about the character is gonna be something that's gonna lead to more interesting things and more interesting dialogue, and we're gonna get the most lore out of whatever character we play. So, immediately, I'm limiting down what lineage options we want to pick. So, in the previous game, we just so happened to play a Qunari, and I don't want our character to be the same lineage as the previous game's one, so we're going to be skipping Qunari. Humans don't actually have a huge connection to this story, and neither do dwarves, at least at first glance. I don't think that either of these races have a massive connection to the antagonist, because we already know who the initial antagonist for the game is, and there will be spoilers for Inquisition in this video if you hadn't already realized. So here's your chance. Go watch all of the Inquisition playthrough, go play through Inquisition yourself and come back here. Alright, that's probably enough time for that. The main antagonist is, of course, gonna be Soulless at the start of the game, and he is an elf who is very definitely an elf trying to make life better for elves by undoing what he did to them. So, I think that playing an elf is the most interesting way to play. I think playing an elf with an alternative view on the world to Soulless is going to be very interesting. Potentially playing an elf who is... I'm trying to think of the kind of character we're looking for. How about an elf who's very proud to be an elf, who's very into elven traditions, who's very out for doing things that'll help elves, but not in the way that Soulless is, right? Not by causing chaos and destruction across the world. I think that will be kind of interesting to play, because it will give us a lot of philosophical questions as we go through, a lot of moral questions as to what exactly we want to do, and a lot of things that we can discuss as we go through the game. So, we're going to be playing as an elf. Descendants of an ancient fallen empire, pushed to the margins in the past, some elves are building a brighter future by exploring their civilization's lost wonders. Cool. Let's play an elf. Now, appearance, I'm going to completely ignore appearance for now. We'll get back to appearance later. I want to pick our appearance once we know who our character is, because right now we could make the most perfect looking character and then be like, well, what I've made doesn't really fit what we've decided in our class, in our faction. It doesn't really fit how we want our character to be. So we're going to move on to class first. Now, there are 3 classes in this game. There is the warrior class, there is the mage class, and there is the rogue. Now, I'm leaning towards rogue initially. The reason why I'm leaning towards Rogue is, one, I read a review about this game, just a very small snippet that said, the game is really fun, the combat's great, just do not play a mage, because the mage is incredibly boring. Now, could it just be that reviewers' one experience with the game? Definitely. But we also played the mage in the previous game, so that gives me an excuse not to play a mage here. Warriors? They can be interesting. You can have a very interesting warrior. I don't really want to play a tank, but we could play a two-handed warrior who's kind of big and bulky and hits things with his sword. I think Rogue could be very interesting. I think Rogues tend to have a lot of options in combat. They tend to have interesting abilities, which in this game, as far as I can tell, the combat system is going to be very similar to something like Mass Effect 2 or Mass Effect 3, where it's going to be a lot of abilities which stack on other abilities to create interesting effects. I think a Rogue's going to be cool for that. And they tend to be quite flexible in the playstyle. By that, I'm meaning that if we were to bring in other people into the party, the Rogue could kind of fill in the roles we need. If we need someone to sit back and just do some damage to enemies, the Rogue could do that. If we need somebody to be up front, maybe distracting a couple of them, getting them away from our damage at the back, our Rogue could maybe do that. I think that they're more flexible in terms of how we use them than potentially the Warrior. So, I'm going to be playing a Rogue. Let's have a look at some of the outfit previews. So we have I'm assuming this is full armor, light armor, street clothing? Yeah. So this also looks like late game armor, early game armor, no armor. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy to be a rogue. So we're going to be a rogue, and now we have to choose what faction we're going to be a part of. Now, there are quite a lot of factions, and I know some of them, but not some of the other ones. Oh, this also affects what your surname is. Huh, interesting. Okay. Your faction choice influences Rook's backstory and conversation choices. So, faction, Grey Wardens. Rook is a Grey Warden, an ancient military order sworn to battle Darkspawn and other monsters. The Wardens undergo secret, unbreakable rites that grant them supernatural powers against the dark. Bonded in blood, gain reputation with the Grey Wardens more quickly. Blight Killer, deal increased damage versus Darkspawn. Vigilant training, base defense and health are slightly increased. Okay, they seem alright. Let's see who else is on offer. Veil Jumpers. Rook is a Veil Jumper. This daring group explores ancient elven ruins in the Arlathan forest. Although founded by elves, they welcome anyone brave enough to face Arlathan's reality warping magic. Now that could be cool. An elf who is familiar with elven ruins, who's familiar with elven history, but has a different opinion to Solus. That seems like it could be quite cool. Close to the Veil, gain reputation with Veil Jumpers more quickly. Attuned Strikes, deal increased damage versus Fade Touched, and Keen Eye, deal slightly increased critical and weak point damage. So maybe if we wanted to be a high damage character who aims for critical hits, this could be our faction. Shadow Dragons. Rook is a Shadow Dragon. This underground resistance opposes corrupt rulers and slavery in Tevinter. Coming from all walks of life, they are determined to bring justice to the people. So, gain reputation with Light in the Dark. Gain reputation with Shadow Dragons more quickly. Never to rise and deal increased damage versus Venatori. Resourceful. Your class-specific resource regenerates slightly faster. Okay. It's interesting. I'm not sure that's what we're going for here. Lords of Fortune. Rook is a Lord of Fortune, an informal collection of explorers, hunters, and treasure seekers from Rivian. The rowdy lords are famed for both daring exploits and narrow escapes. Together in glory, gain reputation with the Lords of Fortune more quickly. Healthy competition, deal increased damage versus mercenaries. Relentless, perform takedowns on enemies with significant, or with slightly less effort. Not significant, slightly less effort. Okay. Again, seems interesting. I'm not sure if that's us. Rook is a Morn Watcher. This elite necromantic order explores the mysteries of life and death and tends to the undead in Navarra's sprawling Grand Necropolis. Recognized name, gains reputation with the Morn Watchers more quickly. Return to the Grave deals increased damage versus undead and demons. Acute Afflictions. You can apply an additional affliction stack on targets. Okay. Now, I don't know how important that is, but that one, at least, that one sounds like that could be a lot more powerful than some of the other ones. Like, what have we got here? Like, this one. Your class-specific resource regenerates slightly faster, versus you can apply an additional stack of something. Potentially, for certain builds, this one sounds like it's going to be very good. I don't think it's who we're going to play, but it sounds very good. And the Antivian Crows. Rook is an Antivian crow, swift knives in the dark. The crows are ruthless assassins, both respected and feared as Antiva's shadowy protectors. Under their wing, gain reputation of the Antivian crows more quickly. Open contract, deal increased damage versus Antam. Hidden pouch, holds an extra potion. Again, this one, like both of these seem like they add something a lot more tangible to your character than potentially some of these ones where it's a slight increase to damage. Having a whole extra potion, now I don't know how many you get, but let's say you get 5 potions, having a 6th one could actually be quite impactful to the game. But out of these 6 options, I think we can start eliminating it down. Grey Wardens, I don't want to play because we played a Grey Warden in the first game, and I feel like we've explored the Grey Wardens quite a lot at this point. Shadow Dragons, potentially opposing corrupt rulers and slavery could be something for us, but I don't know if that's where this particular character is going to go. Lords of Fortune sounds a little bit too disconnected from the story for my liking, at least at the start. As in, they sound like a character who we would struggle to find a story justification for keeping them with the party, right? I think that they would be somebody who I would naturally see as like a bit wishy-washy, as in they come in, they get some money, and then they leave. Somebody without a real purpose. It sounds like they would be in the Lords of Fortune, which could be interesting for playing in a certain way, but it's not how I want to do it in this game. This elite necromantic order explores the mysteries of life and death. I mean, again, it's interesting, but it seems like I would need to know more about them to be into it, and also seems like that's not who we're looking for here. Antivan Crows, very cool. Zevran from the first game was an Antivan Crow, but that's not what we're doing. We are doing Veil Jumpers. This sounds incredibly interesting and definitely how I want our character to be. So, we're going to be a Veil Jumper. Now, I believe there might be more. We can also see our different outfits as well. Yeah, that seems cool. Now, I believe it's going to tell us more about this when I press this button. There we go. Backstory. Hunter of Secrets. When lives were at stake, Rook defied orders to rescue people from the mystic perils of Arlathan. On an expedition to the ruins in Arlathan Forest, the Veil Jumpers found ruins that contained important lost lore and deadly danger. Barely surviving the ruins' ancient magical defenses, Rook's small team recovered an invaluable map leading to a hidden area of the forest. Although the team escaped, other Veil Jumpers found themselves trapped. Rook chose to return to the ruins, saving his teammates' lives but losing the map. He was lauded for his bravery, but the map's loss caused some resentment among Veil Jumpers' leaders. Okay, I think I can build a character out of this, where a character is very into going into lost ruins, finding secret, finding lore, but not at the expense of lives, which I think gives us a very clear opposition to Solus. If Solus is going to be endangering people to do what he wants to do, then we are going to have to oppose him, even if we know that that means that things might be lost to time and history forever. I think that's cool. Right. Now we have our character. Now, we can pick the appearance for our character. So I'm going to stick with this as the default for now, and let's see what we can do. So what starting presets do we have? Do we have anything that seems interesting to me? What's up with it? This guy, I was just trying to figure out. Okay, got an interesting effects. In fact, there are a lot of interesting skin effects that we've got going on here. Let's stick with him for now. Let's see what else we can do. So, I'm actually going to skip forward as well. Let's do body first. Oh, you can also do starting presets for body. So you can be bulkier, less bulky, smaller, much taller. Oh no, Let's pick tall for now. Let's maybe be a lanky elf. I think we could be a lanky elf. It's fine. I'm not really worried about undergarments to start with. Let's go for body shape. So what have we got? So this makes him skinnier. This makes him more muscly. And this makes him more pudgy. So we're going to go very thin, I think. Yeah, we're gonna go very thin here. That seems good. Right, body proportions. Height. Taller. Shoulder width. We could be larger on the shoulders. Yeah, I'm wanting to be very lanky. Although I don't want to look ridiculous. Chest size. Could reduce a little bit. Waist width could reduce. Hip width could reduce. We are looking quite ridiculous. I could potentially increase our waist size, I think. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. Maybe our hip size as well. Let's try and not look completely out of proportion. Glute size. I need to find an angle which is actually going to help us here. Honestly, like, I know that I can see a difference happening, but that's fine. Bulge size. Not particularly worried. Let's just go with that and move on. Skin tone. Okay. Oh, interesting. So we've got warm, neutral, and cool here. I gotta say, cool doesn't look so much cool as ill. So, I don't know. Let's be warm. And yeah, I guess we could be slightly like this. That seems okay. Yeah, we're gonna go for that one. Oh, interesting. So this is I see. So you can choose a color or you can set this slider. I understand. Okay, cool. Right, body shape we've already done. Undergarments. Okay, I'll stick with that. That seems fine. Cool. Right, now head shape. For the best head blending experience, we recommend setting all facial sliders to their base values. Okay, that's fine. So, what am I looking at here? So this is... okay. Well, that's weird. So we can be kind of large. Okay. Very kind of small, circular. And then very long. So I want to be kind of long. It is freaky watching this move, though. Let's be something a little like that. Sure, let's start with that and see where we go. Complexion. So we're at youthful 5 currently. Do we be older or younger? I get the feeling that being younger could be kind of good. I think younger could be interesting. Yeah, just seeing what our options are here. So we got some birthmarks. Okay, some dark circles under his eyes. Weathered. Very weathered. Acne. Rosy. Smooth. Let's go to a... Yeah, let's go to a young again. Let's pick a quite a youthful look. We can be somebody who's got youthful optimism. Yeah, sure, let's go with youthful 3. I'm trying not to spend too long on it. So is vitiligo the skin condition I saw earlier? Or yes it is. Okay. That's fine. I knew that it was a thing, I just couldn't remember its name at the time. Okay, that's fine. We'll leave that off for now. Forehead and brow. I'm not going to spend a long time on this unless there's an obvious thing I want to do. No. Cheek. I'm trying to figure out if we actually have like a dimple on our chin or whether it's just the effect of the tattoo. I think it's just the effect of the tattoo. I think I'm mostly fine. Okay, let's leave that. Some of these are really oddly named. I mean, they make sense, but normally I wouldn't see something labeled scalp when you're doing character creation, but that's okay. Eye shape. Yeah, I'm going to leave that alone. Eye color. Now, we might do eye color. Color preset. I kind of want to be... Let's go green eyes. Yeah. That feels kind of... I don't know why I feel it's a little more elven. I guess green kind of screams nature-y to me, and I'm like, that works. You can have bloodshot eyes. Okay. I'd rather not, but that's okay. We can also have cataracts if we want to. Again, I'd rather not, but that's fine. We're going to be the peak of health and youthfulness. Eyebrow shape. We're going to spend a long time on eyebrow shape? I don't think so. We could choose one that's a little bit more, a little bit softer though. I'm going to go with it. This seems good. Let's be a little bit softer on eyebrows. I'm not that worried about color, but we will probably make it match whatever hair we end up with. Nose? We worried about nose? I'm not overly worried about nose. I think the nose is fine. Mostly. I think it's okay. Mouth? Again, not going to spend a long time on the mouth. I think that's okay. Ear. Now, ear shape I'll look at. Being an elf, our ears are a very prominent feature. So we can have slightly smaller ones. Going to get an angle where we can see them properly. Okay. Interesting. So, these are not massively changing from ear to ear for me, but maybe we'll go with this one. Can you change like the angle of them, or is this how the ears are going to be? Rotation. Ah, so it's rotation in and out. Now, I was wondering if you could change the angle up and down, but I guess not. Okay, cool. I have no idea what position is doing. That's fine. You know what? This looks good to me. I think this is fine. Hair. Now, hair, this is something that I'll spend some time on. Again, we've got scalp as an option here. Alright, I see. I guess it's got scalp as an option because you'll be doing hair at the same time. So you can either do scalp in here or scalp somewhere else. Okay, that's fine. Let's have a look at some hairstyles. So we can do the soulless bald look. Very tall hair. Okay. I don't really know what I'm looking for here. I guess shorter hair would make sense for us, because we're probably going to be, if we're going to be exploring tombs and things, we're probably going to be short hair to stop it catching on different things, I would think. It would be more practical to me. But beyond that, I have no real idea about what we'd be doing. That's an interesting look. Don't know if that might be something for us there. I'm just filled with indecision. I don't know if it's obvious. That might be what I'm looking for. 59. I'm trying to remember. Could also go with something a little bit more out there. That could be cool. Seeing what all the other options are here. Why don't we... Actually, I do kind of like this one. It's short, but it's not completely out there. It's got a braid in the hair. I think this one's kind of interesting. Yeah, I think it's definitely interesting. Let's go with that. Now, color of the hair. Okay, let's see what we got. Could go something that kind of matches our eyes, like kind of grayish green color. Or like, yeah, something like this. Kind of matches where our eyes are going if it was a little bit more green. Can we do a custom color? I'm assuming we can, because you can customize everything else. No, you don't appear to be able to. How about if I go up here? How about this color? That color's kind of good. That kind of matches our eyes a little bit. I kind of like that. Yeah, let's do that. So that's going to be what we look like there. Makeup. I think we can just skip for now. Tattoos. Okay. Let's see what we got here. So, tattoos, I think, would tend to make us... trying to think of Dragon Age lore. We have played them before, but it's been a while. If you have tattoos, that would be more of a sign that you're a member of the Dalish Elves, I would say, right? Rather than being, I forget the other term for it that they have in the game. An elf that lives in a human city, effectively. But yeah, we could potentially be a Dalish elf. Either that, or if it automatically says we're just an elf who isn't a Dalish elf, then we're just, you know, effectively just a poser with some tattoos on, which would be fine as well. I don't know, I'm trying to find one that's there, is noticeable but is not in the way. I think this one might fit what I'm looking for. Yeah. I'd like it to be intense at least. Oh right, there's multiple designs on the same thing. Oh. Oh, okay, so we couldn't actually see all the designs previously. What if I take that off? No, I think I just liked it where it was originally, actually. Kind of like that. In color-wise. Yeah, something like that I think is good. I think that works for me. And then body tattoos. Now that's going to be quite difficult to see given that we can't see our body currently. But I think that's on me for having the show nudity option off. So it makes very little difference what tattoo we have. So I'm going to have no tattoo. That'll be fine there. Although we do have leg intensity. Let's turn on leg intensity here. For how often we see our legs, it probably won't matter, but yeah, let's see what we got. There's some cool options. I think we'll leave them off. I think we'll just have the face tattoo here. I think that'll be okay. Cool. Right. Because that's the bit of the game we're going to be seeing most. I mean, 99% of the time, I imagine we're going to be sitting with full armor on. Scars? I don't know if we need one, but let's see if we've got some small scars. Although I'm looking at all of the ones at the side here, thinking these are pretty major. At least some of them seem like they're fairly major. Oh no, we could have like a small scar over the nose. Sure, we've been in a scrap or two, and that's about it. Yeah, so something like that would be good. Discoloration intensity. Yeah, we'll have a little bit of that. Is there anything else? We'd have a body scar, which obviously won't matter for us because we can't see it. Okay. Paint. I don't think we need that. That's fine. Right. Let's go with this. I think we have our character. Okay. Lighting. Just see how he looks in different lighting. Seems fine to me. Cool. Right, accept changes. Almost click the option that reset everything. Cool. And that's us. Now that's how it will look in our actual armor here. Awesome. Yeah, seems pretty good to me. There's our faction. There's our backstory. And now, playstyle. Now, when it says playstyle, what it actually means is difficulty level. We're going to be playing on Nightmare. So, full tactical challenge, full incoming damage, full enemy aggression, full defend timing. This could be absolutely horrible for us. It could absolutely cause us some issues. But I want to play on Nightmare. Yeah, I definitely want to play on Nightmare and see how bad it is, or how difficult it is. Yeah, let's do that. And that's us. So, we can randomize our name a little bit here. See what we want to be. I'm assuming it's giving us names that are, like, related to the character that we've chosen. I'm not entirely sure. It might just be a random name list. I don't know. I always and ah over every character name as well. I have no idea. I think the character name list is, of course, just a random name list. I don't think it's related to your lineage whatsoever. Looking at this one. Also, it appears to be just a list that it cycles through here. Give me a second. I'm going to put a cut in the video and we'll come back with a name. Okay, so I came up with a name. We're going to be Nelm. Why are we going to be Nelm? Well, in the first game, if you have the Dalish elf origin, then your clanmate that you go with is Tamlin. And, well, by reversing the name and cutting off a couple letters, we get Nelm as a little bit of a reference to that. So that's what we're going to go with, because we need to pick a name at some point. Next, our voice. Let's see what it sounds like.
Time to get to work.
Or...
What's he been saying now?
That sounds more like us.
Well, we're not in trouble.
Don't think that's us.
Let's move.
Don't think that's us. I think 2.
Let's move.
Pitch. We can go for medium or low.
Well, we made it.
I think I prefer medium. Unless we can have this in high. What's this one like in low?
I'm happy with... Hi, we'll be working together.
I think I want this one.
We can lend a hand.
Yeah, that sounds good. Wonderful. And now, what we need to do is we need to customize our Inquisitor. So, let's jump to that and do that one. Past adventures, the Inquisition. Murderer, herald, judge, savior. These were some of the titles heaped upon the Inquisitor as she led a force that challenged nations. 8 years ago, a catastrophic breach in the Fade realm of magic and dreams threatened the world. Through circumstance, or some claim fate, a woman rose to lead an organization known as the Inquisition. Traveling many lands, rallying people to her cause, the Inquisitor closed the breach and stopped the villain behind it. She was advised throughout by an elven mage named Solus. The Inquisitor discovered, however, that Solus was in truth an ancient elven god. Then Harel, the Dreadwolf. Told you there would be spoilers for Inquisition. He planned to restore things to their primal state when the Fade and physical reality were one. Solus said he regretted the deaths this would cause, but claimed that there was no other way to fix what was, to his eyes, an irredeemably broken world. After that, the Dreadwolf vanished, but the Inquisitor swore to find him. Now, we're going to change that backstory to be what actually happened in our game. So, edit Inquisitor. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do here is we need to switch over to a Qunari and go to a man. Feared and envied for their size and strength, some Qunari follow a strict philosophy from their homeland, while others join different cultures generations ago. Now, what I'm going to do on the video here is put up an image of what our character looked at the end of character creation in Inquisition, which should now be on the screen for you. Now, this is the character we're going to attempt to recreate in this game. So, let's see how close we can get. Appearance. Now, immediately, we're just going to look for the one that just looks closest, which I think is this one. And we're going to go into customize. So, have we got any... These are the 4 starting presets. Have we got any head shapes that seem more like what we're looking for? So, I'm thinking that we kind of want to be... Did have a bit of a long face, but we kind of want to be a little bit like this. I think this is a good start. A little bit more of a like angry looking face. I think that's what we're starting with here. So let's go with that. We're going to go fully in here. Also, you can hide hair. Interesting. Okay, let's go with that. Complexion. Skin tone. It is pretty much this. Let's go with neutral and then see where we're at. So I think it's a little darker. It's almost like... It's almost there-ish. Yeah, I think that's what we're looking for. Something like there-ish. Okay, so that's the reset everything button. Good to know. Something like there-ish. Let's do that. Right. Cool. Complexion. Now, he looks a little bit older and a little bit more weathered. So we're looking for, yeah, like, not quite like this. That's old, although we could potentially recreate this guy as a little bit older, as there has been a time jump between the games. We're kind of looking like something like this, I think. I think this is a good start. I don't think we need any of that. Forehead and brow. So, his head is a lot flatter. I don't know how we're going to deal with that. Also a little bit narrower at some point here. What does flatten do? Okay, so flatten changes the top of the head. Yeah, so it is kind of back and ridged in there. Width. of the forehead. I'm just trying to find an angle where we can see what the changes are here. It's definitely in on this one, like it's fully in like that, I think. And depth is right back, although it's even further back than that, I think. It's just kind of flat across the board. Brow? So it's right at the front here. Stick with that for now. Width? It's quite wide, actually. Yeah, it's very wide. Let's do something like that. Height? If we make it higher, does it make it look less weird? It does kind of make it look a little less weird, yeah. Inner position? Yeah, a little bit more raised as well. We'll need to fix it on the eyebrows to make him look angrier, but let's do something like that. Outer position? Yeah, we can also raise that. It's quite flat as well. Okay, depth. This is on this side of things. So we're going to move that back a little bit here. Actually, there is a little bit of a ridge, so yeah, that'll do for now. Okay. Let's try that for now. Okay. Cheeks and jaw. So, right away, his cheeks are definitely more in, I would say. We just go to each extreme here. Yeah, so they're kind of up from there. I am kind of pushing it to the limits on each of these, as in going fully in or fully out. Let's do something like that. Gauntness. Yeah, not gaunt at all. In fact, completely the opposite. Jowls. Yeah. Like more like that. Okay, that's fine. Jaw-wise, his jaw might be fine. But let's see what other options we've got. Maybe I do need to change that. Let's just move this a little bit and see what we got. Yeah, maybe a little bit like that. Then position. Yeah, just a little bit higher. Kind of works. But I'm looking for a way to extend his chin if we can at some point as well here. That's cheeks. Yeah, so chin might be in the next section. It is. Fantastic. So chin bump. There is definitely a bump in there. Width, almost none. Depth, like a lot if we can. Yeah, let's keep going. Height. Yeah, something like that. And then double chin? Don't think so. No, almost no chin. Yeah. We're getting there a little bit. There's some resemblance. The eyebrows still aren't right, but there's some resemblance. He looks a little too kind, I would say, right now. It is worth pointing out that the character that we played in Inquisition was not a good person. We specifically made him to be a power-hungry canary, so, you know, when we're trying to make him look a little bit evil, that might be because he is. I think we can just leave that at 0. That seems fine to me. It doesn't make a huge difference either way. Scalp. Okay, so this is where we can start adjusting the top of his head. Let's hide the hair as well for now. So where do we want this to be? We kind of want it to be a little bit flatter, don't we? Or like flatter at the front. Flatten both sides? What am I looking at here? Yeah, I have no idea what this is changing. We're going up and down and yet nothing changes. Do I need this to be on slightly? So if I do this, this appears to do nothing. That's fine. Width. It's quite wide. Yeah. And then quite low as well. Yeah, there we go. I think we're getting somewhere here. Flatten top. Maybe actually raise top a little bit. Yeah. This seems fine. I think we're getting somewhere here. Profile. Okay, we can see something changing in there. Yeah. So I actually want that further back. Yeah, scale. So we can make this massive. Or have it be quite in. I think a little bit out is fine there. Okay. Well, that might be as close as we're getting. I think that's okay though. It's got some resemblance. Definitely got some resemblance to what we were working with before. I think once we change the horns, that might also change some of how this looks. Right. Next, body. Now, while body was the part that we spent a lot of time on the previous character, I don't think we're going to have to spend too much time on this one. Because effectively, we're probably just going to go for large. Like, mostly just large. Like, large and maybe like a little like this. That's what we're going for here. Body proportions. Yeah. So, probably wider shoulders. Want to increase the chest size more, or... Yeah, I think this is kind of what we're looking for. Just a very large man, essentially. Yes. Loot size. You can have those down a bit. I think this is fine. Yeah, we'll leave pulse size untouched. Skin tone, I think, is fine. Yeah, I think this is roughly right. Yep. Cool. Eyes. Okay, eye shape. So he actually has quite small eyes here as well. If we give some presets, or do we just kind of go for it? Okay. So we're looking at eyes that are quite... They're right the right distance apart, but they're quite far up, aren't they? Yeah, so they're kind of like there. I'm just seeing what happens if I move these. It's left, up, down. Oh, that's just the left eye. I see. My mistake. Right, so we don't want to do that. Depth. Depth-wise... We can have him be here. That's okay. Tilt. How do we feel about tilt? I think tilt... see what the difference is. One thing I think this character creator is missing is the ability to, like, drastically make changes quickly. Like, the ability to jump from 100% to 100% would be really good, just to see what the extremes are, and then you can tweak the detail a little bit more easily. Right now, we're just having trouble seeing what the extremes are. Like, I have no real idea what eyelid does. I think it makes your eyes smaller, which is what we're looking for. This is vertical distance. Yeah, let's do that. Although he does mostly just look sleepy rather than how I was planning on it, but yeah, it looks okay. We're getting there. Nose, large nose. I actually think 1 was pretty there, but that might be 8 might be it, but larger. Let's see what 1 is. I think 1's there if it was slightly more flared. Now, which option do I need to do for that? I guess nostril size is fine, but we want to make the tip of the nose go up. Yeah. Something a little bit more like that. Yeah, something like that. And then maybe... That doesn't matter. Then maybe make the nostrils slightly wider. Yeah, that's getting us closer, I think. Each change makes us closer. Right, the mouth shape. So it's just a little bit of a smaller mouth he's got here. And then a little bit higher up. So position... Yeah, a little bit like that. I think that'll do. That's pretty much on for what we're looking for. Ear shape. Now his ears are significantly different. They are large and pointy like an elf's. So is there a way of us recreating that? This is pretty much as close as we're getting right now. Size-wise, they are quite small. Earlobes are almost non-existent. Ears are symmetrical here. Depth? So what's depth doing here? Moving them back and forward. I'm not entirely sure what depth is doing here. Leave that for now. Rotation. There we go. So they are right out there. Height-wise, they are a little higher. Position-wise, they're even further out there. Yes, he is looking very, very different to how you would, or how the rest of the elves look. Not elves, Canary look. Yeah. If I change ear shape, that changes everything, right? Yeah, and does that reset my choices? Of course it resets my choices. Okay, so let's go back through this very quickly. So rotation is right out there. Size, I guess we're going to go for really small. And then height is a little higher. And then position-wise, like that, I guess? Yeah, I guess that's the best that we're getting here. Yeah, I think that's probably as close as we're getting. Hair? Now, previous character does not have a lot of hair going on. In fact, I think he has no... I think he's gone for no hair. So we'll maybe go no hair here. But he definitely has some facial hair going on. Which actually we didn't even look at for our main character. Although I'm quite happy with the youthful look. No facial hair. See how that goes. Kind of looking for stubble. Although maybe he's grown a full beard in this time. Maybe since leaving the Inquisition he's grown a beard. And that'll hide the fact that the chin's different. But, yeah, let's maybe go for... Maybe go for that. Yeah, so he's growing a little bit older. And let's maybe make the hair a little bit grey then. Yeah, so maybe this, but we're going to turn the saturation down. Yeah, maybe make it a little less... Maybe a little bit more bright. Yeah, something like that. I think that works for us here. Yeah, let's do that. Seems good to me. Horns? Wait, have we done the eyebrows yet? We haven't, no. Okay, eyebrows. Also almost non-existent. Just kind of evil-looking eyes. What if I go for no eyebrows? It is actually a little closer, but they're just wispy, I think. I think the initial one is just wispy. So if we go something like maybe this, but we make them, yeah, make the color, is it this one? Something like that, maybe? I think that could be okay. Yeah, eyelashes, I'm not too bothered about. Mascara, now I think he does actually have some on here. So let's do this plus a little bit of intensity there. Yeah. Let's do that. Okay, that seems good to me. Horn style. So, we're looking for backwards curl. That's it, right? That's at least, that's contender. Those at the end. Yeah, I think that might be it there. Although if we got this in double horn style, no. Yeah, that might be it. Any other options we got here? Ooh, that could be it. That's a little bit longer, actually. But I don't know, maybe Canary horns grow over time, which they might. We could go with that, or we can go with this one. I kind of think that's good. Material. So I think his horns were kind of dark like that. Ish. Metal type. And I will just go with that. Crystal. I'm not sure pink is really the color we're going for here. It may be a little red in there. Awesome. Right. There we go. Makeup. Now, I think this might be... That's not quite what I was looking for. He does have some on here. I choose a starting preset. Can we change it? Yeah, let's go for no makeup to... Oh no, I can't clear it. Alright, so we're gonna have to go into makeup and sort some stuff out here. As I think he has a little around his eyes. Just not quite as intense as that. I think maybe there might be, or this might be what we're looking for. And then the color is probably black if I had to guess. You know what? Easier way of finding black. We'll just lower the brightness. Yeah. Something like that. And then there is no color too. Perfect. I think that is kind of what he's looking at here. Glitter style. I don't think he has a glitter style. There we go. That I think is good. Eyeliner, definitely. Color black again. I think is kind of going for his dark and gloomy look. Although I am tempted to just take it all off at this point, but we'll see. It is a little bit dark and gloomy. Let's maybe go for just a light amount around his eyes. I think that might be a little bit better. Yeah, it's a little better. Yeah. And then eyeliner, maybe a little less intense, and then a little less intense again on the mascara. Yeah, just a little bit in there. Lip makeup. Something like this, and then you make it, again, we're gonna go for black here, I think. Is it something like that? And then color 1 is also gonna be that. Color 2 intensity. Just in a certain lighting that it looks purple, I think. It's a way of making that a little bit darker. Maybe if I choose a color that's a little bit more grey to start with, and then we'll see what it looks like when we do this. Yeah, that's looking a little bit more like it, and then same on this one. I actually don't know if I made any difference whatsoever, or if it looks identical to how it did a second ago. The other option is we remove it. Could just remove it, but that... I think we might go with that then. Yeah, let's go with that. Right, and then blush. None applied. I think that is fine. Right. Right. Tattoos, scars, paint. Doesn't appear to have any. Could give him a scar now that he's a little older. Yeah. Something like that seems good. Actually, I think no notes. I think that's pretty much on the nose. And then I don't think he needs any paint. Wonderful. So that is as close as I think we're getting to our updated version of the Inquisitor. Now, is it anything like the previous one? No, I think the problem is with this one that the head shape has fundamentally changed. I think that because you can't get that kind of ramp-like structure that you've got. So if you look at the original image, which I'll show you now, you've got kind of that ramp-like structure going from the top of his nose all the way to the back of his head, right? Like that's all effectively one flat area. That is changed here because now it kind of goes up and then almost 90-degree turns and goes back, which is definitely a change. And you can't quite get the same look going out of him here. Yeah, you're kind of stuck with whatever you can. Yeah, you're kind of stuck with that there, even with us going for quite drastic changes. We weren't quite getting the result we're after, and the ears are obviously also different, but yeah, I think we'll accept our changes for now. That'll do. Finalize. His name was, I believe his name was Bass, so let's go Bass in here. And then voice.
I won't let this stand.
We need to move.
I think it would have been that one. Right. that would have been us. Inquisitor Adar was a Qunari mercenary used to the thick of a fight. His hard-won experience led to many victories and eventually leadership of the Inquisition. Well, there he is. Finalize? Yes. I love how it says it can no longer be changed later, when actually you can just press Y right now and you could change it. Right? Romance? Now, I think in our playthrough we actually didn't romance anyone. We could pick somebody and just have them be our romance. I don't know what other options it would have had in the game if we picked them as a romance, so I think our Inquisitor is probably... We could just choose Cassandra. I think Cassandra would have been the one we were closest to having a romance with, if we had one. We could also go no romance. Yeah. I don't know. Kind of 50-50 on which one on what we choose here. You know what? Let's choose a romance just in case it gives us some options. Although I don't think that playthrough actually had a romance option. Cassandra. Cassandra Pentagast was a member of a royal family, a knight who sought the truth and a woman who loved deeply. A founding member of the Inquisition, Cassandra was a hardened warrior who brooked no fools. The Inquisitor, however, grew to know Cassandra's other side, a woman who cherished romance, passion, and the sincere connection they formed together. Sure, I did actually select, right? Yeah. World state, right. Now, here's where I get my notes, because it's the state that we left the world in at the end of Trespasser. Now, there are two options here. The first is disbanded, and the second is given to the Chantry. So, I believe that we chose given to the Chantry. The Inquisition's forces were absorbed into the body of the Chantry. It wasn't surprising when the Inquisitor relinquished power to the Chantry. The Inquisition was founded by one of its most faithful knights and had ties to its newest leader, Divine Victoria. Some members of the Inquisition simply became part of the Chantry hierarchy, and while others went their own way. I think we chose this because we decided that the Inquisition would not be disbanded. We decided that this guy was too power hungry to actually let the Inquisition disband, and would rather have some power over it within the Chantry than have it disband altogether. So, given to the Chantry. And the second one is the Hidden God. When Solus told the Inquisitor he intended to merge the physical world and the Fade, he admitted this would cause death and destruction. Despite insisting there was no other way, Solus did not relish the cost in lives. So we can either vow to have stopped Solus, or vow to save Solus from himself. Now, we were a self-centered, power-hungry person. We were exactly the person that throughout the game everyone feared would be in charge of the Inquisition, and who would be the Inquisitor, and we were probably one of the few characters who reached the end of Trespasser who Solus was 100% justified in taking the power from. So, 100% this character vowed to stop Solus. Solus vanished in order to put his plans into motion. The Inquisitor pledged to stop him. The Inquisitor declared that the danger Solus posed was so great he had to be stopped no matter the cost. Even though his influence had diminished, the Inquisitor still had contracts and old friends who began a hunt for the Dreadwolf. Effectively, the Inquisitor was out for revenge. And that is us. We are Bas Adar, and I guess we will see them at some point during the story, as the past adventure finalized. And here we are, back to Nelm, and if we go to summary. So, this is our Rook. Full name, Nelm Aldweir. Lineage, Elf. Identity, Man, He, Him. Class, Rogue. Backstory, Veil Jumpers. We have done our past adventures with the Inquisition, and playstyle is Nightmare. So, this is us, and if you want to see the adventures of Nelm, and to potentially see our Inquisitor come back, then you're going to need to join us in the series which will have just gone out on the channel. And if you have enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, comment, subscribing, all of that sort of stuff, because it really helps at the start of a series, because it helps with search ranking. So, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.